My mom and I make our baked macaroni and cheese a little bit differently, so today I'm going to show you how I make mine. The only thing you're going to need is a pot, a colander, a big glass casserole pan, which I didn't get out, table salt and pepper, Morton's kosher salt, coarse kosher salt, 4 cups of finely shredded cheese. I normally get sharp cheddar cheese, but she bought mild, that's okay. And then some type of noodle. I like ziti noodles personally, but if you like traditional macaroni, I'm sure that'll be fine. First thing we're going to do is fill up our pan with water. Make sure you get enough to cover the macaroni for the whole time, because if the noodles go over the water and the water evaporates and boils out, then it's going to be a sticky, disgusting mess. Put the pot on the oven and set the stovetop to high. Then turn on your oven and set it to about 400 degrees. No, 375 would be good. I always look to make sure nothing's in there because we've had several incidents of burnt items that we put in the oven to store. Before your water starts to boil, take Morton's coarse kosher salt, say that 3 times fast, and pour it in. I like to add a lot, because then you don't have to add as much to it on top of it. And when I said a glass casserole pan, this is what I meant. You could use round. If you like a lot of it to be thin and really crispy, then get a long one like I made the pizza bake dish in. Our water is almost boiling, so go ahead and if you have any plastic mats in the bottom of your sink, go ahead and remove those, because even though the chances of it melting are slight, it still might happen. Go ahead and put your colander in so it's ready for when your noodles are ready. Alright, the water's boiling, so I'm going to pour the whole box of ziti noodles in. And I'm also going to turn my oven down my stovetop down from high to about halfway between 8 and 9. And go ahead and stir a little. You'll want to check in every about 4 minutes or so until they're ready. And it actually looks like I have a little bit too much water in there, and it's definitely going to boil over, so I'm going to pour some of that out. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my pan with vegetable no-stick cooking spray. Make sure you do not forget this step, because that would be bad. Normally I do this over the sink, but I cannot tape and spray all at the same time over the sink. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour about half my noodles into my pan. Okay, so there's about half my noodles. I forgot I moved my cheese. So I'm going to put salt. If you can tell, I am a salt girl. I like it a lot. And pepper. And then I'm going to take 2 cups of the mild shredded cheese. Pour it all on. If you can tell, I also like cheese. So never too much. You can kind of mix it in a little bit if you want. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then I'm going to pour the other half of my noodles in. Alright, here's the other half of my noodles, and we're going to do the same thing. Salt. Pepper. And then I'm going to pour the rest of the cheese on, but I'm going to have to be careful with it, so I'll show you when I'm finished. Alright, so that's what the final thing looks like. If you want, you can do more salt and pepper, but I really don't like to on the top, and I'll tell you why. I like to put my macaroni and cheese in there long enough for the cheese to get nice and crispy on top, but when you put a lot of pepper on top, as it crisps, the pepper hardens, and it just looks ugly, so I try to do it underneath the layer of cheese. So I'm going to put it in the oven at 375. It should have had time to preheat by now, which it has. So I'm going to put it in there for about 20 minutes. Alright, it's been about 25 minutes, and I like mine to be really crispy on top. It gives it a great flavor, I think. Don't forget to turn off your oven. This makes a great side dish. Since I usually just make it for me, I eat this as my whole meal. And then I heat it up as leftovers for forever until it's all gone. And the edge pieces are always my favorite. Thanksgiving and Christmas, my brother and I fight over the edge pieces like wild animals. Those are the best parts. And it's really sticky because there's so much cheese, which is not a bad thing by any standard. Okay, well, by my standard, by the Health Association, probably, bad thing, but. And there we go.